Blessed love, blessed love. And thanks. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Live from St. Lucia right now. We'll see how the signal is. This is kind of going to be a test to see the future live streams and how we operate. Didn't really get it set up. We'll see how the internet is. I'm going to find the perfect spot for the internet very soon. But up until then, we're up here in the mountain just vibing, full joying. I'm out here in St. Lucia, y'all. Let me know how the sound is. Let me know how the video quality is. Boom. I see the comments. Good. Good. Give thanks. Welcome. Miami Kitty 91. Lovely Missy. Hello. Blessed love. Giving thanks. Give thanks. Blessed love. Sending love, y'all. Welcome. We out here in St. Lucia. As y'all can see the trees. As you can see. This is so epic. I'm so excited to be out here in St. Lucia. Monique, giving thanks. Send me over. Come true. Here you find in California. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Quality is great. Good. Give thanks. It's looking like we got a nice spot right here. Bless y'all. Love y'all. Yeah, y'all can come through. Y'all can come through. Y'all can come through. I'm kind of in like a sort of a quarantine right now. Low key. They have like a little bit of a quarantine for the first couple days out here in St. Lucia. So I'm gonna just be cooling out here. And but yeah, y'all, we're gonna be out here in St. Lucia. We're gonna be filming a lot of content. As I'm here, I'm around a lot of the herbs. Like this tree right here, that's a breadfruit tree. It's a legendary, such a like it's so tasty. It's so good, y'all. What I eat for breakfast, I had cocoa tea. Of course, I had the cocoa tea. Empress Chanel blessed us with some cocoa tea. So yeah, y'all, just vibing out here. While I'm out here, going to be doing a lot of video recording, a lot of footage, a lot of cooking videos, a lot of going to the herbs, like because we have a lot of these herbs here. And when I usually do videos, I'm showing you the dried stuff. Like, oh, look at this gully root, and it's already dried. You know what I mean? But we're gonna be going right to the source, and we're gonna be showing y'all all these herbs, especially since I'm on here on the mountain. There is a little bit of a restrictions with the travel, like around the island. So we're not going to be doing too much traveling around. It's going to be posted up here in the mountain, but this is beautiful. Let me show y'all what it looks like. Let me show y'all my view. Mm, that's beautiful, y'all. No, I'm still here. I'm still in Vancouver, living in Vancouver, but just visiting here for a couple weeks. Boom. Y'all. And like, let me see if I can show y'all. It's not even, I don't want to move the camera. Right there is a cocoa. Right there is a cocoa tree. So that's a chocolate tree right there. Beautiful. Right there. Then just on the other side of this is some blue vervain, right? On the other side is blue vervain. We got cassia lata. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna walk all the way around. But that right there is cassia lata. I'm gonna walk around, y'all. But just for this stream, we're gonna be vibing. We're just gonna be chilling. Get the sun bath, vitamin D. Definitely. Give thanks. Give thanks. Yeah. So what's cocoa tea? I need some of that in my life. Cocoa tea. Cocoa tea is like 100% raw cocoa. So I just showed you the tree right there. So cocoa comes in pods, and in the pods you crack it open, and then what they don't really talk about is cocoa or cacao is really a nut. It's a nut, just like a cashew. So cocoa is one of the most mass-produced nuts. It may be the most produced nut in the world. So cocoa is actually a nut or a seed, and they crush it up, and then they hand roll it, and then that's a cocoa stick. It's like something traditional to St. Lucia, a cocoa stick. And then they blend that, or they boil that with some other spices, some coconut milk, some sea moss and dates and all that kind of stuff. And it's like a hot chocolate, but it's the most like legit legendary hot chocolate on the earth, on this planet. So I have a couple videos on it, but while I'm out here, we're definitely going to be doing even more videos. We're going to be, y'all, the kitchen. I can't go to the kitchen because the Wi-Fi there is terrible, but the kitchen is so nice. I don't know if y'all seen Ross Kitchen, right? If y'all seen Ross Kitchen, that's a YouTube channel that's pretty epic. Like I think they're doing something legendary. But that kitchen, I'm like, yo, we're gonna have to do something legendary out here in the kitchen out here, get some recipes, get the vibes going. Where's your cup nut? The barber's view, welcome. My lord, my lord. Give thanks. Yeah, so we're just out here vibing, just kind of in a little quarantine for the first couple of days. Just gonna be vibing and chilling. Mummy UV4. Now that I'm out here, I'm gonna make sure because I'm out here, so it's easy for you. So I'm gonna go and make sure that you get your consultation as I'm out here. If I gotta go and be like, yo, we're gonna start the consultation now, we're gonna make sure you get that consultation. So no worries, we got you. I did see the messages and I am working on it. So we're definitely gonna make sure you're taken care of. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Same Coco from Ghana. Yeah, Coco is all over the place. Definitely got to give thanks. But I'm here in St. Lucia in our retreat center, Mount Kailash Rejuvenation Center. And this is something that since COVID started, they had a lot of rules in place. So I couldn't really come here because you need to get your facility certified by the tourism board, the government of St. Lucia, in order for travel to come. So we're in this certified quarantine facility now up here on Mount Kailash. And yeah, it's the place to be. So if any of y'all want to travel, y'all could come here on your own and just visit and just vibe out, be on your own and just chilling. But we're also going to be in in the new year, probably March, April, or May. We're going to be having our retreat, the Beyond Wellness Retreat, and y'all can come join us then. That's always a legendary moment, legendary time. So there's going to be definitely opportunities for y'all to come travel out here. And yeah, we're going to be doing a retreat. Definitely going to be doing at least 3 retreats. That's the goal. That's the plan, to have at least 3 retreats and make it happen. Make it because I believe, like, for me, for all of us, it's been a kind of a challenging year. Even in just the sense of we all had to kind of shift. I mean, we all had to kind of make a shift, and whatever plans we had for this year, it just got derailed. And we had to. A lot of us made a lot of blessings throughout this time, throughout coronavirus time, but even though those blessings came to us and we're super blessed, it took a lot of energy because we had to really focus and shift and, what I mean, make it happen. So we definitely made an adjustment. So all of us, like, now is like the most perfect time, a beautiful time for us to go on this retreat, for us to all just get away, come vibe here on the mountain and just enjoy this space, take some time for ourselves, take some time to unwind and vibe and just tune into self, and just like retreat yourself. That's what we say for the retreat. It is learning how to treat yourself again. And that's because a lot of us, we forgot, like, especially during these times when all we're trying to do is survive. All we're trying to do is how can we make it to the next day? How can we make it so we can pay rent this month? How can we make it so we keep our business open even, right? It's been challenging times. So once we have all that happen, we may forget even how to treat ourselves. So with the retreat, it's going to learn how to retreat ourselves. And it's epic, epic. So yeah, that's gonna be epic. I'm gonna show y'all the cottage though. So this is the cottage that I'm staying in right now. This is one of our new cottages. This is the view. Epic. Like, just waking up to this is a vibe. Just sitting here on the little patio balcony vibe. You know, boom, just surrounded by bamboos. I'm gonna show y'all the room. I'm a messy guy already, so but boom. So this is the cottage that I'm staying in. Boom, a couple beds there, and it's a nice, beautiful space. Come in here, like you see, they got the COVID things. It's everywhere, but boom, nice little vibes. So this is kind of the vibe of the cottages. But I just brought these photos out here actually. This is a photo from our second retreat and legendary times. Like, oh, legendary people. Such an epic memory. But got these photos. Let me show y'all this because we're just gonna vibe the space out. So like when you come into the retreat, this is a video we took, a photo we took from the one of our drones. This is St. Lucia. Those are the pitons. Then boom, this is the video, photo of the land. Boom, and that's the pyramids when I was in Egypt. Woo! Legendary. So this is the cottage. This is my favorite place to stay. It's super chill, just a major vibe. But yeah, that's what we got going over here. I'm not gonna do the live with Priest right now because I'm kind of here in quarantine. So just gonna be vibing, chilling out a little bit. But what we're gonna be doing, stay tuned. Make sure you put your no post notifications on because I may be going live every day. Like I may just go live every day, especially if I'm by some herb. I may just go out there and let's go. Let's go. Let's start talking about it. Let's talk because I want y'all to actually see where they grow because you learn a lot about the herbs by where they grow. It's kind of like if you just see a person, say you see a person on vacation and you see them and you're like, you get to meet them, get to learn about them, know them. You only get to know a little bit about them. Once you go back to their home and you see where they were raised, you see their family, you see their upbringing, then you're gonna learn so much more about them. You're gonna understand so much more. And these herbs are no different. When you go actually to see where they're grown, you get to see so much more. So we're gonna be going all around. We're gonna be doing lives a lot. So make sure you have those notifications on. Gonna be doing a lot of videos. Like I see this video, should do a tour of Priest Retreat Cottage. Definitely gonna do the tours. Definitely what I do in a day in St. Lucia. Definitely going to be doing that. And I have a drone. I have a DJI Mavic Pro. It's a pretty epic one. Is there mosquitoes at night? Yeah, there definitely is mosquitoes. So we have that. That's why you saw the mosquito net in there. There's a mosquito net and we got mosquito sprays. Empress Dora hooked me up. She hooked me up big time and got me different essential oils, mosquito sprays, and things like that. So I'm good. But even though I had a little bit on my feet, I forgot to spray my toes, so they got in between the toes. But it's blessed, y'all. Yeah, y'all, just stay tuned for this next phase. We're gonna be doing a lot of content going into the new year of how to elevate your life, how to manifest greatness into your life, how to manifest the life of your dreams. Because on a low key basis, like I'm here chilling, right? I'm here chilling. I don't really talk too much about business. I don't talk too much about seeing money. I don't talk too much, not too much about the mindset about spirituality. I'm pretty so far on YouTube. I kind of get a random video here about spirituality or business or mindset, how to manifest things like that. But I haven't really spoken to y'all about meditation. I haven't really spoken to y'all about how I actually manifest and how I manifested this life. Because a couple years ago, y'all saw me when I first came out here to St. Lucia. Nothing was set up like this. Nothing. So in a couple years, a lot of stuff manifested and a lot of stuff came forward. And it's something that I realize is like really special and it's really unique. And I'm grateful because I had a lot of teachers and I had a lot of just different things that I learned on my journey that I implemented. And I believe that if I could share, then there's going to be at least one or two of y'all that will be able to benefit from that and also share a little bit more about my story, my journey, because y'all, like, I wasn't really always like this. They used to call me Cheeseburger Eddie because I used to, it's the funniest photo, like Cheeseburger Eddie, because if I go to McDonald's, I eat like 4 cheeseburgers, 5 cheeseburgers, so they call me Cheeseburger Eddie. And they used to call me the garburator because I would eat anything in my vicinity, anything around me, I would just eat that. You know what I mean? So I'm very understanding of where y'all come from and like where the journey took, like where you can go on this journey. And I want more of us to believe that we can really manifest greatness in this world. Like I'm gonna show y'all more around the mountain right? And then the mountain is something where this place was built off of tourism and travel. Really, it's travel based, right? But that was shut down. So what happened? We made a pivot. We shifted everything, and we were able to make so during this COVID time that this mountain, this area was able to continue to thrive, right? Super low key vibe, but like we just made a little shift, a little pivot. And I know there's a lot of people. What I found is a lot of y'all, when y'all message me, DM me on Instagram, I see a lot of y'all be following pages like Earn Your Leisure, Derek Grace, 19 Keys, a lot of these different people who speak a lot about business and they speak a lot about economics. They speak a lot about being abundant and being great and how to utilize the system for your advantage, right? And I'm like, yo, I love their content. I'm in both of their courses, Derek Grace and 19 Keys. I'm in both of their courses. And I believe that I got some information for y'all too. I definitely got some information for y'all too. So we're gonna be going through the journey. We're gonna be going on an epic journey together, y'all. That's my that's me in 2021. I kind of called it like the humanizing content, where it's more me and my natural state and me and my journey and me and what I've been through, how I express and how I feel and how I go through things because I go through a lot. You know what I mean? I go through a lot like we all do, but I haven't really shared with y'all. So y'all may think that I'm just always smiley. Like, how do I keep this smile? You know what I mean? How? I go into the darkness, and through the darkness, I bring the light. And that's how I'm able to keep this light and this brilliance, right? So there's just different perspectives like that. My upbringing, like I started studying and learning about Buddhism and Zen Buddhism more specifically in 2011, 2000 back in 2011, 2012, first quarantine, social isolation, social distancing, self isolation, because back then I was basically in a self isolation quarantine where I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't speak to anyone. I just stayed at home. I meditated. I wrote, and I just really crafted this life right now. Right. So this life I'm living right now, 8 years ago, back in 2011, 2012, that was the foundation of this. Right. And when we're talking about 2012, I don't know if y'all know 2012, they were saying like there's going to be a big shift, a big change in this world. This world is going to change, right? And what happened? It did. For a lot of us it did, right? And when we look at 2020, they're saying the same thing. Shift in this world. And that's why there's all this going on. Right? So I spent the last 2 months of my life, I spent the last 2 months resting, chilling, charging up. I took it as a charging up time because I know what's going to come and we got to be prepared, right? And the thing is, give thanks for the 44 likes. That's my number. Give thanks. But the thing is about it is there's the physical representation of this world, and then there's the spiritual representation, right? And a lot of us, we only focus on manifesting the physical. So all we think about is actually getting the thing, getting the money, getting the land, getting the business, right? But before we get that, we got to prepare our consciousness. We got to prepare our mind. So once you get it, you don't mess it up. We got to prepare our mind, our consciousness. So these last 2 months have been really preparing my mind, preparing my consciousness for this next phase on this journey. And I want all of us to be ready. I want all of us to be prepared. And I want to come more on a journey. And as we're opening up the school, we're opening up more services, more things where we're going to be connecting and we're going to be more of a like a community. We're going to be in some spaces together. So, we're going to be building it up, y'all. And this is something that's dear to my heart. I really the fact that I'm doing these herbs and I'm selling these herbs, I'm doing this as a service, right? I'm doing this as a service to my people, right? I'm not a businessman. Like my goals and my dreams isn't to be like a big businessman. You know what I mean? My goals and my dreams is to be someone who experiences and shares their experiences and brings people on experiences and connects people from the modern to the ancient world. I'm a bridge builder, I'm a connector. But I spent this last 2 years, fully deep into the business, right? And I look at that as a sacrifice that I did very gratefully. We all have to make a sacrifice, right? So I took this sacrifice so I could bring forward these different products, so we could start to bring forward the school, so we could highlight what's going on here on the mountain, and we could bring forward some of our greatness, like what we have here on the mountain. Something that I believe the world needs to find out about. So I'm gonna give up my time. I'm gonna give up some of my ideal things that I would do, so that I could help highlight what's going on here on the mountain. So I can highlight Honorable Priest Kailash and his teachings, because that's what I feel is important to me. But that's a sacrifice that I'm making. I didn't put out much content this year. That's my joy. That's my joy. I love putting out content. I love sharing. I like doing vlogs. I love being able to actually sit down and edit the videos. No time for that, you know, no time for that, right? But I say that to say that I'm very grateful for the opportunity. And it's not something I have to do, it's something I get to do. And it's these little perspectives in our life that shifts a whole lot, our whole world shifts once we start to look at it in a different way. I don't have to do anything. I get to do these things. And it's a major blessing, right? So I'm so grateful though. But just know that as we keep going, as we keep moving forward, like I already built the team. We're building the team in Vancouver. I'm out here to assist and make sure that these products that we continue to get are continually going to be the highest of highest product quality. That's why I'm here. I'm here to check out the system, how are we running things, how are the herbs, how can we improve, what can we do better, this is what's going well, let's keep doing that, so we can put that system in place, and we're going to make sure we get that highest quality of products for y'all. So we're out here checking out on everything, and as we build this team, that's going to help free up our time, so we can so we can be in our uniqueness and our greatness, right? So I can be behind the camera, in front of the camera, just filming. So I can be sharing y'all. I don't know if y'all see. I don't know if y'all see, but I've been putting on some weight, getting that mass up. I've been doing a lot of work in the gym, a lot of training. And that's another thing. It's like, that's what I love. I love fitness. I love eating. I love cooking. I love nourishing myself. I love sharing with y'all how I do it. So we're going to be doing that. Like, a lot of people ask me, how do I gain weight as a plant based, as a vegan? We're going to be going through all of that in the new year. If someone could just put the link in for Katrina, it's www.akeempierre.com. But yeah, y'all. So giving thanks, I'm so grateful for y'all. It's a beautiful time. And just know, like, everything that's happened so far in 2020, don't feel like it's just going to go away. Like, 2021's a new year, and everything's going to change. So happy to be out of 2021. I'm so excited. It's done. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere if you don't actually make the changes. Like, if you don't reflect and look back at this year to see how this year went, and then how you could adjust towards next year, where you won, where you lost, what you learned, what are your visions, your goals for next year. I'm gonna go over a little process. I have my teacher, me, who he goes through training for 2021 and how to level up your life in 2021. So that's something that we all got to be doing. Who in here? Let's see. Who in here? Who in here has planned 2021 yet? Let me just get an idea of where y'all at. Who in here? Who in here has planned 2021 yet, or has started? Let me see what y'all saying. Cause I may just do a video and just like let's do it together. Let me know if y'all started planning your 2021. Thanks. And meditation on the daily. Definitely started. Give thanks. I love it. So y'all already starting. Y'all already getting it going. Congrats, Juanita. Blessed. Y'all started. The rest of y'all, I don't know. I am making steps, but not a plan in stone. Moving out west from east. Give thanks. Jessica, ask you. I've started. Jessica, do you know Anne ask you? I feel like y'all may know each other. Not yet. About to start. Give thanks. In the works to move to Belize, to move to land in Belize and continue the work. Give thanks. I started 2021 by going plant based in 2020. I hope better health will lead to better finances. Started. Give thanks. We need to put in practice. Action plan. Give thanks. I have all my goals and planks. Thanks Allah. Alhamdulillah. Give thanks. Best question I've asked all year. Give thanks. Okay, bless. Give thanks. Y'all tuned in. Y'all tuned in. It's definitely something that I'm gonna do a video on while I'm out here. We're gonna be doing on that, but definitely a lot of cooking. But when it comes to the plans, for those of y'all who were saying they have it in their mind but they haven't written it down, start writing it down and start putting that on paper because I have plans. Yeah, like I'm gonna figure out Danielle. I'm gonna figure out how to do this accountability circle. I was thinking about it. Maybe we could do it like I don't know. I'm gonna figure out how we can do it because I think that's very important for us to have some support, some accountability for each other, and just build as a community because it's challenging on our own. So I'm a ferment on that, think on that a little bit to see how that that works out, and go from there. But yeah, that'll be super blessed. I think that would be awesome. But let's get those plans written down, y'all, because I wrote plans. This is the thing that like in my last video I spoke about how I just like accidentally manifested the life of my dreams, right? Like think about this, y'all. Like this is the life of my dreams. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. I traveled to St. Lucia, and that's actually where my business is. Like, I traveled to St. Lucia, and that's not like that's the actual business. That's the dream. I get to stay in this tropical land, and my business gets to continue growing. If I don't have to go back to Canada. If I really wanted to, I could stay out here and I could just vibe and live out here and just full joy out here. Still going. The business is still going. Like everything is still going. You know what I mean? Low key, I have my goals that I had for my whole life, right? But the thing about it is I wrote that down back in 2011, 2012. And this was before I even knew I was in health. Like back in 2011, 2012, I wasn't into health. I was more into fitness and I was like a basketball player, like truly a basketball player. So what I wrote down is I want to have a retreat in St. Lucia, but it was a basketball retreat. It was going to be a fitness retreat. I wrote a paper. Think about this. In 2011, I wrote a paper about the economics of cannabis, right? And I wrote a paper about hemp and how St. Lucia needs to change its exports from being bananas. It needs to stop trying to export bananas and it has to start using other crops. I thought hemp, hemp seed because I wanted to build houses with hemp, right? I want to have a village, a community where we all live in hempcrete houses, right? But that was something I wrote an essay on it in my university for my economics degree. And I wrote about we need to have a different crop for St. Lucia because I was out here and I'm like, this land is abundant, but bananas aren't it. All bananas come from South America now. We need to switch it up, right? And then look, almost 10 years later, 8 years later, What am I doing? I'm changing the crops that get exported out of St. Lucia. How? How? You know, how? It's these kind of things that I believe is possible for all of us, right? Ask Empress Dora if she's on the chat still. Ask Empress Dora. She's been in it. She's manifested the life of her dreams. Y'all don't even know, but like what she's doing right now, she started. She started becoming a meditation teacher a year and a half ago, I think. It wasn't even 2 years yet. Wow. A year and a half ago, she officially got certified for meditation. No cap. No cap. Like, you know what I mean? So it works. It really works. So, this is something that's available to all of us. And I'm not going to hoard no more. I've been hoarding and keeping that to myself and just those around me. But it's time to share. It's time to let this out because this is a major manifestation time. Like during quarantine was the most abundant time of my life. You know what I mean? During quarantine was the most abundant time of my life. And the thing about it is it doesn't matter if it was quarantine or not because I had a vision and I had a plan. And if all I know is that I was gonna grow, right? I was just gonna grow. And when you trust the universe, you trust source, you trust yourself, you trust the highest power, the higher power, it doesn't matter about what happens all around you, right? It doesn't matter what happens all around you. You're still going to be able to create and manifest the life of your dreams, right? And these are just perspectives that, I really want us to all understand, overstand. Doesn't matter. Like a lot of people during COVID quarantine, they were bored. They were bored. They didn't know what to do. Bored in the house, bored in the house, bored, you know? And a lot of people, they were like, thank you. Now I have time to manifest my vision and my dream. And I saw a lot of people do a lot of epic, legendary things. And that's because what actually happens on the outside, it doesn't matter because we are creators and we are transmutators. We are alchemists. And the alchemist is the one that like to or turns like an iron or rusty metal into gold, right? You're able to change something that doesn't have much value into something so valuable. And that's when we deal with the energies in the world. Like I'm a master transmutator, I'm a master alchemist. And it's interesting because the very first book I read in my life was The Alchemist. And I read that book when I was 21 years old in 2011. Right? I didn't start reading up until 2011. I was like, reading? Why would I read for? That's only for people in school. Why would I do that? It's corny. Nah, forget reading. Why would I want to educate myself? That was kind of like the mindset that we had, that I had growing up, and a lot of people around me had. It wasn't cool to read. It wasn't cool to be eating well. It wasn't cool to be taking care of yourself. It wasn't cool to love yourself. It wasn't cool to treat people well, right? But back in 2000, a big change in my life, and from there, I started reading. I picked up The Alchemist, and I'm a master alchemist now. We all are alchemists. We all, we all of us. And the thing is, some of us, we're such master alchemists that we turn something that's good or valuable to us into something worthless. So alchemy doesn't always go from something worthless to valuable. Some of us, we're addicted to taking something that's valuable, that has a worth to us, and making it worthless, right? So some of us are addicted to that. It's like some of us are addicted to being sick. Some of us are addicted to being ill. And it's really, really an interesting thing because the way that we live in this world right now is some of us, the only time we get attention is when we're sick. The only time someone calls us is when they think something is going wrong with us, right? The only time where people come to visit us is when we're in the hospital. So some of us, the only time we feel community is when we're sick. So we become addicted to being sick. We become addicted to being ill. And that's something that we actually have to. I look at myself and I look and I see, how do I have that in my mind? Because I know I have that in my mind. Let me know if it keeps cutting out. But I know I have that in my mind. On subtle levels, I self sabotage myself. And I understand that I'm no different than anyone else out there. I have my upbringing that programmed me in a certain way, right? When you think of our brain and the pathways of our brain, it's like you're building a road. So up here to Mount Kailash, there's roads that you have to build, and you have to cut down trees, you have to lay the cement, you have to create the pathway to be order to get to the mountain, right? What happens if that pathway doesn't serve you? What happens if that pathway is no longer gets you where you want to go, right? Because the thing is, everything that we started in our life at one time served us. I may be going too in right now with y'all. I may be going too in right now, but everything that happened in our lives, every pattern that we created at one time, it served us, right? So for me, one of the patterns that I did is I played small, right? I didn't express myself and I didn't share my true opinions because if I did that, I saw my brother do that. And my brother did that and he got shut down a lot. He was the bad brother. He was like the bad kid, because he was just experimenting and being true to his own self. And it was such a beautiful thing to see, but I saw he didn't really get those results. In terms of like the family, like, oh, look at, like, everyone say, Akeem, you're such a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. You're so good. You're so nice. So I'm like, let me keep hiding how I feel so I could keep saying people say I'm a good boy. People say, oh, look at Akeem. Oh, talking to my mom. Oh, you have such a good son. So that one serves me, right? It serves me. It actually helped me get in this life. But it comes to the point where I'm no longer a child. I'm an adult now, and I have to take control. And I have to look. I have to look and be like, is this serving me? Is this pathway serving me anymore? And sometimes you say no. And when you say no, you actually have to make a whole new pathway. So when it comes to the road analogy, you got to make a whole new pathway. You got to chop down trees again, right? You got to chop down all the trees. You got to lay the cement again. And what are you going to do with the old pathway? It's a lot of work. So a lot of people, it's not worth it. Why would I do it? It's not worth it. I'm fine. I'm fine where I am. A lot of people, they try to make you seem insignificant by saying it's not that serious. It's not that deep. You know what I mean? So when you go to someone and you say like, hey, in that milk that you drink, they pump the cows with hormones, right? And they have antibiotics in it, and that gets into us, and the way they treat the cows, the energy, the cows are just in a terrible state, in a terrible space, and that comes into us. Plus we're lactose intolerant, so we shouldn't be drinking milk in the first place. So that's why I drink almond milk. You tell that to someone, And they'll look at you, they'll be like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Just drink milk, bro. Like, it's not that serious. That's what they do to us, right? And then what do? We question ourselves. We doubt, right? We doubt. We hesitate. And then that kills our dream. And that's why I went into quarantine, right? That's why I went into quarantine. I'm not having none of y'all tell me nothing. I'll do a specific video on this, but when I was learning Zen Buddhism, I learned from Alan Watts. That's like my really one of my first teachers that really put me on this spiritual path. But what he said is, in order to really know yourself, you have to cut off all your connections. And then once you cut off all your connections, then you can start to intentionally create connections and choose what connections you want to make. Because a lot of us, up until now, we haven't questioned ourselves. Like, why do I talk to that person? Why do I eat that food? Why do I go to here? Why do I do this? Why do I talk to myself like that? Why do I talk to my parents like that? Why do I? We don't question this kind of stuff. So we just keep perpetuating these connections that we had given to us as children, as we were socialized. From 0 to 7, you're in hypnosis. From 0 to 7, you're like a sponge of just looking at everything and just like watching. Like, if you see a child and their mother or their father, you're most likely going to see they stand the same, they walk the same. Say like someone has like 1 foot forward, 1 foot to the right. Watch, check this out. Like, go to your parents and just see how you stand and see how they stand. You may have the same stance because there's mirror neurons. We mirror those in our environment. You know what I mean? So back then, I cut off all connections because people are gonna try to shut you down. They're gonna try to make what you do feel insignificant, feel like it's not worth it. But you got to know that you got to surround yourself with an environment that is going to help you thrive. And the reality of the situation is a lot of us, we don't have that. So what do? Self isolation, right? If there's a virus going around, you don't want to catch the virus. What do you got to do? Self isolate. It's not like it's just like it seems so simple, right? Because the way I look at it is the virus is in our minds, and we have a virus that keeps us in a box, and everyone is virus to us by saying like, oh no, you're good, oh no, that's not that serious, oh no, let's just do this even though even like it, let's just keep going, right? So that's like a virus that people implant into our minds. So we got to go into self isolation. But the thing about it is 14 days isn't really enough for the virus in the mind because they say it takes up to 2 months, 66 days, 67 days in order to reprogram your brain to create new habits. So that means I would say for us to think about when we're going to go into self isolation and quarantine against these bad vibes, these negative energies, let's do it for at least 67 days. Right? I did it for about 4 or 5 months, 6 months. Some people could say I did it for 2 years. But for that first couple months, it was like I was a captain on my basketball team, of my university team. So think about it. I was captain of my team. I was there on a scholarship. I was the leader of the team. So I still had my roles in my life. What I did, I woke up early, went to practice, went to school, did my work, did my grades, came home, went to my room, I read, meditated, and studied. Later on in the evening, I go play some basketball, go shoot a little bit, boom, 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 by myself, because I realized, oh, this is meditation too. Hmm, meditation ain't got to be sitting down being boring, right? Boom. And I just went back home, self isolate. My teammates, I lived with teammates. My teammates were like, when I talk to them now, they're like, bro, you never came out. You never did anything. I was like, I had to. You see where I'm at now? Like they all see where I'm at now, right? So they all realize that. But that was something I really want to share more with y'all. And I don't believe that we gotta cut people off. Like I don't believe that if there's someone in your life that brings you down, brings you that bad vibes, bad energy, you gotta cut them off. I don't really believe in that, right? You can. It may be the thing. You may have to do that. But all I say is put them on the side for a little bit. Just give yourself some distance. Give yourself some distance from them. And then when you get that distance from them, just see how you feel and just like see how it happens. And maybe after some time you give them a call, bless it, how you doing? What's going on? What's going on? How are you? Blah, talk with them. And then you may want to reconnect with them. Like I have friends in my life where I told myself, I'm not talking to you until I'm more valuable. I'm gonna get myself to a place where I'm gonna be so valuable to you that you're going to come around me and you're going to like take heed to my energy. My energy is going to be so powerful and valuable to you that you're when you come in my presence, you're no longer going to be like that's not that serious. But when you come in my presence, you're going to start to be like, "Hey, so tell me about that. Hey, so yeah, you meditate. Oh, hey bro, what about these herbs? Can I get some of these herbs? Hey bro, I'm having problems. I'm having a hard time in this, right? It's no longer coming with me with it's not that serious, right? So that's another mindset, another perspective that this just came to me right now as I'm talking to y'all. Is that me saying to them, give them space until I become more valuable, they're gonna approach me different. Now when they come into my place, like when I go around, people when I walk around now, people look at me and they always come to me and say, "Hey Akeem, what do you think about this? Should I eat this?" Or asking me, "Oh, what about your herbs? I would love to try it. Oh, I've been trying to eat vegan for a couple weeks now." Whenever I see people, say I go to a basketball tournament where that's the people I used to know all the time. If I go to that basketball tournament, when I show up now, they come up to me as if I was judging them, as if I like was looking at them like, "Hey, you got to stop eating meat now." I ain't say nothing. It's just my presence, right? So that's when you put yourself in quarantine and self isolation. You build yourself up to be a powerful energy, a generator, a vibe where anyone who comes into your energy, they adjust. It's very important that we realize that the herbs, very important. They played a very important role in my life. The food played a very important role in my life. All that played a very important role in my life. But what was the most impactful to me? This mind. This mind was the most impactful thing to me. And if you know another way, like you can just think of how that can be laid out simply, is fasting. When you really want to heal, don't they make you fast? Right? And the food is powerful, but the ultimate power, when you fast, you get no distractions around you. And it's just you and your mind and you and yourself, you and your being. So that's why it's so important that we really take heed to the mind. And the mind is so powerful. This is a thought, like I don't know if I really shared this before, but this is a thought for me. Let me know if it keeps freezing up, if it keeps the sound is off, you know. So with our mind, I mean, this is what I think, right? So back in the days, like couple hundred years ago, right, when the slaves came, and they were terrible food, right? Because the food that is like the southern food now is the food that they were eating back then, right? And that food that they were eating back then, it wasn't good for them either. But they didn't get these illnesses and these diseases like we do now. And this is just kind of like a thought that I have, is that back then, if they had this food, chitlins, grits, this kind of food, whatever food they were eating, the scraps, right? Is they were still grateful for this food. They would still pray and be so grateful and thankful for this food. Let me know if it keeps freezing up. I'm gonna keep going though. But they were so grateful for this food. So my belief is that even if you're in a situation where you don't have access to the food you like, to the herbs you like, to the environment you like, if you're able to give thanks and truly be grateful for it, you're gonna transmute that, those even the toxins that are in the food, and you're gonna negate those, and you're still gonna get to healing. You're still gonna be lively and vibrant. You're still gonna live to an old age. That's why a lot of those people who live to an old age, they don't really eat that healthy necessarily. Some of them are smoking cigarettes, eating junk, but they're just like, this is my routine. They love it. You know, they're really grateful for it. That's very true. It was more agricultural, and it was agricultural people. That's very true. So that's another aspect. And that was even before a lot of the pesticides and a lot of the pesticides and a lot of the toxins, the GMO was in food. So that's a very good point. Very good point. But with that being said, I still know these people who are in this day and age, they have poor access to food. They eat poorly, but they're grateful, they're thankful, and they're not getting these illnesses or these diseases. So it's not something that is like, it's not something, a lot of what I do and what I say is not something we're here, accept this, take this, right? But it's a thought. You know what I mean? It's a thought of, hmm, what what could I learn from this? What could I apply to this? How can I benefit from this perspective? You know, a lot of what I say is not definitive. It's something for y'all to hold. And if it don't apply, let it fly, right? But I just want to put perspectives out there and for us to think about, because it's that intellectual process of, and then seeing how that goes and seeing process. And that's almost alkaline. That's almost alkaline. The almost alkaline process is saying almost, you know, if I were to give you a diet plan, you got to put your own to it. And when you make it the own, it's like, that's almost that alkaline diet plan. It's almost perfect. It's almost, because we're always on the journey. We're always learning. We're always adjusting. We're always adapting. We're always growing. So that's the almost part of it. So with everything, just take it in and see how it can apply to your life and see how, what you can get from it, what benefits you can get from it. Someone asked me about Nature Boy in the comments, and I did watch some of Nature Boy's videos back in the day, and it's very, very applicable to what I'm saying right now. Is if it don't apply, let it fly. You know, there were some things that I said like, yo, he's really tuned in, he's really tapped in. There's a lot of stuff that was like, nope. You know what I mean? So it's just with that is like, find those tidbits of knowledge and wisdom and be able to utilize them in your life and just let it grow from there. All right, y'all. So much love. Let me see if I can see the comments. Much love. I wasn't really looking at the comments too much. Yeah, that's an epic perspective. Even the poorest man in America is still the richest man in 80% of the world. Yeah, that's interesting. A lot of us are in the 1%. A lot of us who are in poverty, on the poverty line in the US, are actually richer than the 1%, are in that 1%, you know? Well, I'm gonna take a few questions now. Loves her alcohol, coffee, and a cigarette. She's 70 years old. It's interesting. Just interesting to see that. What is a great herb for me to start my health journey? What I would do, this is how I started my journey, is I went to the health food store. So you could say, like, say I'm the health food store, right? You go to the health food store and you say, hey, I'm looking for something that may help me with this and this and this, right? So I went to the health food store and I said, hey, I'm looking for something that's going to help me cleanse and that's going to help bring some nutrients back into my physical and just be at a top level of functioning. And then they started me off with chia seeds. It was chia seeds and something else. They weren't even herbs. I'm gonna figure that out. I'm gonna go think back. But so if you ask that question again, because your health journey is your health journey. So what do you want to get out of your health journey? Like what here's the question. What on your health journey is going to allow you to get started and continue to keep going? Like what y'all hear me now? I know it cut off a bit, but the question that I would ask is like what on my health journey get me and balance gift. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Let me just share the view with y'all one more time. And just make sure you put your post notifications on. Make sure you share.